Hey everybody, Ron here. Today is day 7 of RPG A Day 2019. Today's prompt is familiar. Now, when I think of the word familiar, I ask myself the question, what is familiar to me? And you know what's familiar to me? Fantasy tropes. Fantasy is familiar to me. I ask myself the question, I have played many different games, not just D&D, various editions of D&D, but various iterations of the D20 system. I have played Fate, of course, the Powered by the Apocalypse games, Forged in the Dark, um, Savage Worlds, just a bunch of games, Icons, a lot of different games. And for some reason, I keep on coming back to D&D. Of course, 5th edition is really popular right now. It is probably the most popular that D&D has ever been. It's arguable. It's definitely the most popular that it's been since the 80s. That is not an argument. Um, but why do I keep coming back to D&D? When there's all these great games. There's other great Dungeon World. Dungeon World's a Powered by the Apocalypse a fantasy hack, a D&D hack actually, and it's lighter, it's simpler, it is more narrative driven, and I like it a lot. But why am I playing D&D? It's familiarity with the tropes, dwarves, elves, halflings, humans, empires, gods and men, dragons, orcs. Although I do some different things with orcs, and I love Eberron for treating orcs differently. But still, all of these things that I read about in Tolkien and Robert E. Howard and you know um, Fritz Lieber and the Grey Mouser, just tropes that I am familiar with and I'm comfortable with. It's easy for me to improv as a game master. It is easier for me to wrap my head around as a player, and I guess that's why I keep going back to D&D. And D&D is its own subgenre of fantasy. Definitely its own subgenre of fantasy gaming. It is its own subgenre of fantasy fiction, even. And I mean, these things are a important part of my life, and I guess that's why I keep going back to them, because it's so doggone familiar and comfortable. And so that's what I think of when I think of the word familiar. And yeah. So until next time, hopefully tomorrow, I will see you later.